Hey, what's going on, guys? Today I'm going to do an attachment video over the Ram assault rifle. This is my absolute favorite gun out of the game. It's been my favorite gun when Warzone came out. It's been my main gun. I've been using it from the very beginning, but it's cool now. It's starting to get more recognition now that the AMAC's been nerfed and the FFAR and some other guns. It's finally starting to get some recognitions, but I still feel like it's a little bit underrated. But like I said, it's kind of cool that more people are starting to use it. It was definitely underrated before all those other nerfs to those other guns. Like nobody was ever talking about it or using it much. I feel like it was kind of like a cult following that used the Ram, but this thing's an absolute beast. It's one of those guns you either love it or hate it because of the recoil. But if you can get the recoil down, I think the recoil is easy to use. But if you like the recoil, you definitely love this gun. So I'll go over attachments on this video, how to use, and I'll give it overall rating at the end of the video. And then in a separate video, I have gameplay of this gun if you want to check that out, kind of see how I use it and see the potential of this gun. But other than that, if you find this video helpful or entertaining in any way, definitely hit that like and subscribe button. But let's go and get into it. Alright guys, here's my attachments for the RAM. This is for the long range. You're pretty much going to see it's across the board with everybody for if you're using the RAM as long range. But that's the awesome part about the RAM. It's super flexible. You can use it close range, you can use it long range, and you can use it as sniper support. So it has a lot of flexibility. That's the awesome part. So I'll go ahead and talk about the reason why I do for the long range build, and then I'll talk about sniper support and close range. So obviously, given with the modern warfare guns, you want monolithic suppressor, damage range, suppression. That one's a given. Then the FSS Ranger, it's going to give you damage range, bullet velocity, which is really important. You want as much bullet velocity as possible if you're building it long range, so you don't have to lead your bullets. When you shoot your shot, it'll hit them. And it'll help with recoil control a little bit, so good there. Then I use the hollow sight with a blue dot just because I absolutely love it. It's going to save on ADS a little bit versus the VOK. Now, if you don't have the blue dot, then I highly recommend using the VOK optic. It's definitely a good way to go too, but it'll be a little bit slower with the ADS. Then the Commando foregrip, that's definitely going to be the way to go for the underbarrel. Once again, if you're using it long range, because it's going to help with that recoil. Basically, the recoil for the RAM, it goes up and to the left. So the Commando foregrip will help tame that horizontal recoil, so the left of it. Then for the ammunition, 50 round mags, that's the only thing available for the RAM, so definitely want that on so you can fight multiple people. So that's the long range build. Now, if you're doing close range, we can do a few different things here, but for the most part, for close range, you want tac laser, help with the ADS. Then if you're using it for your secondary, for close range, you don't need the barrel anymore because it's an assault rifle, so it's already has pretty good range. I mean, up to 30, roughly around 30 meters, so that's pretty good for a secondary. I would go with stippled grip here to help with your sprint to fire speed and your ADS even more. So basically just swapping out the optic and the barrel for the tac laser, help with the ADS, and then the stipple for the sprint out in ADS. And the iron sights on the RAM are pretty clean, so yeah, you really don't need an optic. Now for sniper support, I would personally take off the stippled grip, and I would put on the Eclipse to help with the damage range a little bit and the bullet velocity. It's going to hurt your ADS a little bit, but with the tac laser on, that helps out significantly. But with the Eclipse on, it's going to extend that range and that bullet velocity a little bit more because, when you're rocking sniper support, unless you're really good with a sniper up close, you putting on the Eclipse for the RAM will help extend the range where you can fight with this assault rifle, and then you don't have to worry as much about that. So how to use the RAM? Well, it depends on which build you do. You do the long range build that's currently on the screen right now. This thing's actually pretty good even at close range. Absolute beast at mid range and pretty good at long range as well. But even with this build, yeah, the ADS is gonna be slower, but it's still not that bad at all. Like I still feel comfortable pulling this out 20 meters in when fighting people. So that's even the awesome part about the long range build. It's still really flexible even with this particular build. But once again, you can build it sniper support and close range, so that's why the Ram's so awesome. You can do so many different things with it. Once you get that recoil down, you can nail people from 60 plus meters, especially if you mount, then it's an absolute laser beam. But yeah, I've gotten pretty comfortable where I can hit like those 60 plus shots, on a pretty consistent basis, or at least crack their armor. All right, guys. So the rating for the Ram, it's an 8 out of 10. It's meta. It's always been meta, in my opinion. It's always been meta. Even when Warzone first came out, this gun's been awesome. It just seems like now people are starting to jump on it a little bit more. The other guns have been nerfed, but it's always been an awesome gun. I know I've mentioned this multiple times, but the flexibility on this gun is just awesome. Even the long range build that I shown you originally, it can be used at close, medium, and long range easily. So yeah, I think that's a good place to put the Ram. This thing's an absolute beast in the right hands. All right, guys, that does it for the Ram Assault Rifle Attachment Guide. Make sure to port her up, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Have a good one.